Does it say it's recording? Awesome. Okay, so what you're gonna do today is you're gonna need the following materials. You're gonna need all your paints, and everybody is gonna take one of these, and this is gonna be yours for this semester. This is palette paper, mixing paper. So you're gonna tear a sheet out, and you wanna make sure you're mixing on the side that feels smooth and waxy. You're also gonna need a brush. If I didn't give you guys brushes last time, I will get you a brush. You're gonna get a water container, which is there, and put some paper towels under your water container, okay? Now, you can see that I painted a little bit yesterday in the other class, but what you wanna do is take, and you're just gonna put a little dot of the pure color on your mixing paper. And make sure you put the lids back on. Now, make sure too that your brush is dry. That's why you want to have the paper towel. We don't want to add water to the paint for this particular exercise. Out of the way. Okay, so make sure you hold your paintbrush just like you hold a pen or pencil, and you're going to paint in the pure color. Now, for this particular exercise, I'm not super concerned about how perfectly and neatly you paint things in, as long as you get an idea of what the color looks like, okay? Now, when you go to wash your brush, you can't just like swirl it around in the water because it's not gonna get clean. So you kind of have to stipple it on the bottom of the water container, and it may stain the brush, but once again, wipe it on the paper towel, not only to get it dry, but to make sure no color comes off. So, what we want to do now is take one of these other colors, like let's take ultramarine blue. And I'm going to put a little blob of that on my palette paper too. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to say, okay, I need to mix ultramarine blue with alizarin crimson. So I'm going to mix all of this into all of that. That's kind of wasteful. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the alizarin crimson, and we're going to take a little bit, of the ultramarine blue, and we're going to mix those together. And what you want to do too is not like keep mixing in ever increasing circles, because then you're just painting the palette paper and you're kind of spreading the paint out. And this paint dries super fast, so the more you spread it out, the quicker it's going to dry. And as you can see, you get a really beautiful purple when you mix those two colors. So that's why this chart's going to be so helpful to you, because when you go to start doing your painting project next week, you're not going to have to play around and go, well, I need a really nice purple, but I don't know what to mix to get it, okay? And also be aware, and I think you guys, I'm sure, can figure this out, but depending on the proportion of what you mix, the color is going to be a little different. So like, let's say I took a little more of this alizarin crimson and mixed it in, it's going to push it towards more of a red-violet color. And if you do something like that and you want to just put that over there, just so you can see that, that's something that you can do. So this chart is really, for you to refer to. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to continue on. Like next is the magenta. So you would grab your magenta, which is somewhere. I'll have to, maybe I didn't grab magenta. Oh, this was the magenta. Oh my gosh, I painted the wrong color in. Okay, well that would explain some things. All right, another nice thing about acrylic paints is you can paint right over them. So if you do paint the wrong color, and this is already dry, just take your color and you can just paint over it. Okay, so even though this isn't correct in terms of the paint color, you get the idea of the process of how to do it. Okay, so obviously it's pretty important to read the name on the tube so that you do the right thing. Okay, all right, if you want to, this is totally up to you, but you could go through and do all the pure colors, like do the alizarin crimson, do the cadmium red light in the middle, do the red medium, your ultramarine blue, your phthalo blue. You could get all those done and then do the mixing part. Okay. You won't finish this today. We're going to spend 2 classes on this. So that's it. Just take your time. Don't waste time, because I do want to get through this in 2 classes so that we can move on to our first project. Okay. All right. Any questions? All right, so water containers are there, paper towels are here. Make sure you take one of these for yourself, and you guys can start painting. And Tam, can you just click that off for me?
Okay.